The Indiana Pacers this year have by no means been a title contender, but I think it's fair to say that relative to their expectations, they've been playing really well, and while they are the 12th seed in the East as I record this video, their actual record is not horrible. They're 27-35 as I record this, and it's not like they're a 10-win team or anything like that. And in today's video, I wanted to go ahead and talk about the Indiana Pacers and explain why they're one of the best young teams in the league and why their future is extremely bright. But yeah, without further ado, before we get started, hit that like button if you guys end up enjoying this video, since it really helps out the channel. And of course, subscribe if you guys are new and you guys enjoy this type of content, so you don't miss out on any new videos like this. But yeah, let's just go ahead and get this video started. And there's no better starting point than talking about the face of the franchise himself, Tyrese Haliburton. Now, I've been a big fan of him ever since he was coming out of the draft from Iowa State. And when he got traded to the Pacers, you know, I thought it was a great trade for them at the time. And clearly, as we see right now this year, that trade involving him and Domantas Sabonis has been a win-win for both sides. But yeah, Tyrese Haliburton, he has taken his game to a whole nother level this year, and he is a bona fide all-star right now. And I mean, in fact, he made the all-star game this year, and this season he's been putting up numbers of 20 points per game, 10 assists per game, which is near the top of the league. He's also putting up 2 steals per game and he's shooting 48% from the field and 40% from 3. I really love Tyrese Haliburton. He's a solid all-around point guard. He can score the ball well. He can also he can do that on really good efficiency. He's also one of the best passers in the NBA, and he's also a really good defender. And at his peak, I think he will be an all-NBA level player. But yeah, the Indiana Pacers, I mean, point is, they have one of the best players in the league in Tyrese Haliburton, and I'm really excited to see him grow as a player in the future. Now, after Tyrese Haliburton, I do want to talk about I guess the second young star on this team as we speak, and that is Benedict Mathurin. Now, I believe Indiana selected him with like the 6th overall pick in this past year's in the last NBA draft from Arizona. And Benedict Mathurin, although he has spent most of the year coming off the bench, he's been really good and been one of the best rookies this year. He has just been a flat-out bucket, and that was his main thing coming out of Arizona, being a really good scorer, and he's provided Indiana with just that. Now, I'll admit, I do want to see the efficiency improve, but then again, he is a rookie, and, you know, with rookies, you can't exactly expect them to be like superstars as soon as they step foot on an NBA court, and I do believe he can be more efficient as time goes on. Besides that, I also do want to see him grow as a player and become more than just a scorer, like become a playmaker, maybe like a great defender as well. But yeah, Benedict Mathurin, he's been having a really good rookie season, and I do think he is going to be a future all-star or be around like an all-star level player. Now, it's not just those 2 young stars that deserve a lot of credit for how competitive this squad has been, because Miles Turner is in the midst of a career season. Right now, he's averaging 17.5 points per game, 8 rebounds per game, and 2 blocks per game, while shooting 54% from the field and 39% from 3. With Miles Turner, I mean, he's not really going to get a whole lot better. I mean, he really just is what he is at this point. I think he is a good starter, though, and while he does definitely is not a superstar or anything like that, he's not like some young, rising, ascending star, I think the Pacers should keep him, because he can be really good for when Indiana does eventually become a playoff team when it comes to just experience, and, you know, he's also just a really good player, great defender. He can stretch the floor and, you know, is still pretty solid on offense. And although he's been in trade rumors, you know, for years at this point, I really just don't see Indiana trading him anymore, and I don't think they should trade him either. But yeah, Miles Turner, he's been playing very good for Indiana. Along with that, Buddy Hield, he's been having a great season as well. Buddy Hield on Sacramento in his last few years, he was starting to decline, and I mean, it was pretty clear him and Sacktown really just had to split up. It happened last year in that aforementioned Tyrese Halliburton and Domantas Sabonis trade, and Buddy Hield has been extremely good for them this year. He's been putting up 17 points per game on very good efficiency, especially from three. I think he's shooting like 42.5% from three on like 9 attempts or so, which is extremely good. He is one of the best three-point shooters in the NBA. Now, I'm not sure about his future. Maybe he does stick around. Maybe Indiana does trade him, but, you know, Buddy Hield, again, he's just been playing very good, and it's undeniable his contributions have been, like, really good this year, and I think, again, like Miles Turner, if Indiana does choose to keep him, when the Pacers do eventually become a legitimately good team, he can help when it comes to veteran experience. So, yeah, really what I gotta say for those, I guess, main 5 guys. Other notable young players, they include guys like Jalen Smith, Aaron Nesmith, and Andrew Nembhard, who's been a pretty big surprise this year. He came out of nowhere. And TJ McConnell, although he isn't really a young player per se, I do think he is a solid veteran. But again, like I guess, like Buddy Hield, who knows what his future is on this team. But yeah, that's really what I gotta say for those players. Now, when you look at the Indiana Pacers, I see a guy who could be a championship #1 in Tyrese Halliburton. I really do think he is that good. And along with that, they have someone who can grow into a pretty good sidekick in Benedict Mathurin. So, I mean, 2 future All-Stars, and one of whom who I think can be like a top 10 to 15 player in the league. That's a really good start. And along with that, they have some solid veterans. And they also do have some other young players who, yeah, they may not be future like superstars or all-stars or anything like that, but hey, you don't really need like a team like the whole all-star squad to win a championship in the NBA. You also need some good role players, and I think you can, you know, maybe develop some of those young talent players, you know, into good role players who can make some nice contributions. And Rick Carlisle, I also think he is a solid coach, and he definitely deserves his fair share of credit when it comes to Indiana being such a competitive team this season. And with the Pacers, while they are not a great team right now, they have been really competitive, while at the same time, I think they are tanking just the right amount, and that's what you want to see from a young, rebuilding team. You don't want to completely, like, lose every single game, and you don't want it to be like shameless tanking where you're building this losing culture, because as we can see with teams, that can affect them when it's actually time to win. Building the losing culture is not good. At the same time, though, they are tanking just the right amount. There's no shame in tanking when you are a rebuilding team. In fact, I think that is kind of, I mean, I think that's not really a bad strategy to tank, at least a little bit when you are rebuilding. But the Indiana Pacers, they're doing it just right. They're having a good mix of both competitiveness while also tanking a decent amount. Like, as I record this video, the Indiana Pacers, even though they are 27-35, they can get like a top 6. They have like a top 6, 7 pick, and you know, maybe it does go higher depending on how the lottery ends up playing out. And with Indiana, even though I don't think they will get Victor Wembanyama or even like Scoot Henderson, they can get like another one of the blue chip prospects in this upcoming draft, like what's his name? Oh yeah, Brandon Miller, like the Thompson twins, etc. You know, they can get one of those guys in this draft class. It's really good, even outside of Wembanyama and Scoot Henderson. So I mean, if the Indiana Pacers can just add one more guy like that in this upcoming draft, I think they got a squad. I mean, you got Tyrese Halliburton, Benedict Mathurin, as I said before, that young player who you're gonna draft in this upcoming NBA draft, some other solid young players, and a few veterans plus Rick Carlisle. That is a decent squad, and hey, in a few years, I do think the Pacers could be a playoff team, and you know, maybe not too long after that, they could be a title contender, depending on, you know, how they play their cards, and, you know, just depending on how things play out. But I gotta say, man, I really do like the Indiana Pacers, and I'm happy for them, because at one point a few years ago, they were just a boring, like, middling, like, stuck in purgatory team, but now they're really exciting. But all I gotta say for this video, thank you guys so much for watching. It really does mean a lot to me. Again, like, subscribe, do all of that stuff, and check me out on social media. Links to my Twitter and Instagram, they're in the description below. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.